Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about this prepaid legal service that I use. It's called US Lawshield. And the reason why I use these guys is because they're cheap. They're only $11 per month, right? With the promo code. Promo code is Pocono Shooting. And with the promo code, you also get other benefits. Like you will also get, sometimes they'll waive the sign up fee, which I think is like $20. So they'll waive that, or they'll give you extra months. Okay, so it kind of depends. It's a state by state thing. In some states you'll get both. They'll waive the sign up fee, and you'll also get free months. So if you're gonna use these guys, you definitely want to use that promo code. Like I said, the reason why I use these guys is because they're cheap, right? You can see right there, $11 per month. If you add on your wife or something, I think it might go up to $15. So now, before I went with these guys, I did look at some other options out there, and I found that they were a lot more expensive. I think the closest competitor was $35 per month. Okay, and I thought that was a lot, right? $35, 35 times 12, that adds up for something I really don't expect to use, right? Because realistically speaking, I'm out here in the woods. I don't really expect to ever get into a self-defense situation. So I have a hard time paying a lot of money for something that I'm probably not gonna need, right? In terms of actually needing a lawyer to represent me if I get into a self-defense type of situation where I gotta use my firearm, okay? So that's why I didn't quite feel very comfortable with spending $35 a month, but this $11 per month, yeah, that's something I can digest. I can swallow that. It gives me, I have that extra peace of mind that I know that I have a lawyer on call if I ever do get into a self-defense type of situation. Now, aside from using the lawyer for self-defense type of situation, the other way I use these guys if I have like general gun questions, right? So, like a while ago, like one of the questions I had is, well, is it legal for me to carry this unserialized Palmer 80 in my state? And the answer is yes. I kind of knew the answer already, but I wanted to get it in writing from a lawyer, right? So that gives me that extra peace of mind if I'm traveling to, let's say, some of the cities, the liberal cities in my state, because a lot of times when you travel to these cities within your own state, the cops there don't know the laws, right? So this is potentially like a hot button issue. So I wanted to have that in writing, ready on hand in case anything ever came up. So that's one of the ways. So that's the second way I'll use them. Right? Number one, if I ever get into a self-defense type of situation. Number two, I will ask general gun questions, okay? And number three is if I am traveling, okay? So if I'm traveling, let's say from here to Florida, I will ask them, first of all, can I take this unserialized gun that I have built to Florida? Can I carry it, right? So what they will do is they will give me an itinerary. They'll say, okay, well, these are the states that you can carry the gun in, right? These are the states that you need to unload it, put it in your trunk. These other states, you have to, don't avoid those states altogether. Take this alternate route to avoid those states, okay? So that's what they'll do for me. They'll give me, immediate, legal representation. If I get into a self-defense situation, I can ask them general gun questions and get the answer in writing, and I'll get an itinerary if I am traveling, okay? Now, one of the things that you might say, well, these guys are $11 a month. Like they seem like maybe they're on the cheap side. You know what? Money's not an issue to me, right? I'm okay with getting a more expensive lawyer, right? In fact, I want the very best lawyer out there, right? That might be your position, all right? Well, number one, if you do get into that situation, you still have the option of getting some other lawyer, right? But at least you have somebody to immediately and initially deal with the police, right? Because when the police come to the crime scene, some of them might be a little bit pushy. They might be trying to ask you information. You're telling them that you don't want to talk until you get to your lawyer. Ideally, what you want to do is call these guys. You got them on the phone. They're gonna tell the cop that they're representing you and not to ask you any questions. At least that will buy you some time, to get to your other lawyer, because your regular lawyer, right? He's probably not running a 24-hour service, right? In fact, he might be on vacation that week. Okay, these guys, because this is what they do it nationwide. They're always going to have somebody answer the emergency number, right? Because they give you two numbers, right? When you sign up, they give you the non-emergency number and they give you the emergency number. So you call up the emergency number, you're always going to get somebody on the phone, right? You're always going to have access to a lawyer. And, for that $11 per month, that will buy you some time so that, if you want to go get the more expensive lawyer, you can also get the more expensive lawyer. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with having two lawyers work for you either, right? Because chances are, well, here's one of the things. If you're in a self-defense situation, you just don't want a great, let's say, contract lawyer, right? You want somebody that specializes in gun cases. Now, when you're talking about gun cases, most of the lawyers, right, that represent people in gun-related cases are criminal lawyers, right? And what happens is these criminal lawyers, most of the people that they usually represent are people that did something wrong. Okay, so a lot of times criminal lawyers are already in the mindset of trying to mitigate the charges against you, right? They're not trying to get you proven not guilty. They're pretty much trying to they're thinking more along the lines of trying to get you convicted on the lesser charges. Okay, but these guys over here, their mindset, right, is that you're not guilty, right? That you were just defending yourself, and that's how they pursue the case. And even if you are working with another lawyer, the two of these guys can get together, because there's some things that these guys are going to know, that because this is what they do full time, that maybe your regular lawyer doesn't know, and they can kind of help that guy out, kind of point them in the right direction as to how to handle that type of a case, right? So even if you have these guys, you might still decide this is my family lawyer, he knows us, whatever. But you know what? Having two lawyers is always better than having one lawyer. I mean, that's what I think. If you think about these multinational corporations, right, when they go in to sign a contract, they usually don't go in with one lawyer, right? They go in with a whole team of lawyers. So something for you guys to consider, because I do have other lawyers in addition to these guys, right? Because I'm a businessman, but my regular lawyer, he charges $250 an hour. Okay, that's a lot of money. That's what my regular lawyer charges, $250 an hour, and that includes if I call him up and I just ask him a question, right? He's running the clock. So with my regular lawyer, even if I'm just calling him up to ask him questions, he's charging me for that. Okay, with these guys, I can basically send them an email, and as part of this agreement, they will answer gun-related questions for me. They'll answer gun traveling questions for me. So this is a very a very convenient service for me. So I wanted to put it out there for you guys. I know I've mentioned it before, but I've actually used these guys on a number of occasions, not being in a self-defense type of situation, but just with regards to traveling and gun-related questions about, just like I said, like this Polymer 80, is it legal for me to carry in my state? Is it legal for another question I had for them, and this was on the behalf of one of my customers, is can an 18-year-old build the Polymer 80? Okay, at the time the answer was yes, it was legal for them to build the Polymer 80 in my state. I don't have an updated answer now with everything that's going on with the ATF and the framers and receivers rule, but at the time, the point is I was able to just send them an email and get a quick answer. Another question that I had is it legal for an 18-year-old to buy pistol ammunition, right? So the answer to that turned out to be that an FFL cannot sell it to them, but they can buy it privately, right? So that an 18-year-old can buy pistol ammunition from somebody that is not in the business of selling ammunition, right? So it can't be an FFL. So they can do occasional purchases that way. But the other interesting thing that I found out from these guys is if you're an 18-year-old and you have a 9mm rifle, right, like a 9mm AR, well, now that FFL can sell you that pistol ammunition because you've got the rifle that takes the 9mm. So one of the things that you could do if you were, let's say, were an 18-year-old, is that you can get these guys, because the FFL is not going to take your word for it, right? But you get the answer from these guys, get it emailed to you in writing. Now you take that, you go to the gun store that sells the pistol ammunition, and you say, hey, you know, here's my rifle. I mean, obviously you're going to bring it in boxed or whatever. You know, prove to them that you have this 9mm AR. You got a lawyer letter here that says that it's legal for you to purchase ammunition for your rifle. You know, and now the FFL is going to be more willing to sell you this pistol ammunition if you happen to be between 18 and 21. So so these are the ways that I use these guys on a very regular basis. Call them up, ask them questions. If I'm traveling, I'll ask them travel-related questions, you know, with guns. So I think it's a great service for $11 a month. I'll put it up here again so you guys can see the website. It's US Lawshield.com. Promo code is Pocono Shooting. I don't know how long this promo code is going to be good for. I mean, they didn't tell me that it was going to expire, but you know, sometimes, you know, with these companies. So that's why I've done a couple of videos where I'm mentioning this, so you guys can kind of get in on it. And I think for some states you get both the $20 sign-up fee waived, and you get the 2 months free. Okay, so to find out exactly what it is, you got to actually go through the process. Now, here's a nice thing: you can also cancel at any time. So if you're in one of those states where they waive the sign-up fee and they give you the 2 months free, okay, so it's costing you nothing up front, right? You become a member. You're able to cancel anytime. So one of the things that you can do is, sign up with them. You don't pay nothing up front. Ask them all the gun-related questions that you have. Ask them all the travel-related questions that you have. And then if it turns out that, you know what, you don't feel comfortable with the $11 per month, you can cancel the service. Okay, so, use it. The service is there. Use it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon.